Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we plunge headfirst into the electrifying currents shaping the world right now. And if you've been anywhere near the sports headlines, you know exactly what that means today.
Oh, yeah.
The summer transfer window isn't just buzzing, it's a full-blown supernova. Deals, rumors, huge money flying around.
Absolutely everywhere.
Reshaping football clubs across Europe, like, by the minute. Are we seeing a new era of strategy here, or maybe just, reckless spending?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It really is. That's what we're digging into today. Our mission on this deep dive is simple. Cut through all that noise. Sift through the latest transfer intelligence, pull out the crucial details, and maybe some surprising insights to put you, our listener, ahead of the curve. We want to get right to the heart of what's happening fast and, well, what it all really means.
And it's that depth, that strategy behind it all that makes this window just so fascinating.
Right.
Every single transfer. It's not just a player swapping shirts, is it? It's a chess move. You've got player ambitions, club finances, tangled up with league rules, FFP pressures.
Always FFP.
Always. And what's really interesting is figuring out not just who is moving, but why. Why that player? What signal does it send? How does it change the club long term?
Absolutely. The layers are incredible. And look, if you're as captivated by these stories as we are, by the details, the strategy, the huge implications, then please make sure you hit that subscribe button right now.
Yeah, do it.
Turn on the notifications. Join our community here for all the deep dives. You won't want to miss these. Rapid fire confirmed deals and big picture contract news. Okay, let's jump right in. Some immediate impact stuff because the market is moving incredibly fast. We've already got some major confirmed deals setting the tone.
That's right. Just in the last few hours, John Duran confirmed. New striker for Jose Mourinho at Fenerbahce.
Wow, okay. Mourinho moving fast.
He is. It's a statement, isn't it? He wants that attacking presence right away. Duran fits. Then you've got Facundo Medina, the Argentinian defender. He's off to Olympique Marseille from Lens. That's a $22 million deal package.
Solid fee. Marseille shoring up the defense.
Seems like it. A proven talent. And an exclusive story we followed Tammy Abraham. His 4-year contract is now officially confirmed.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's already traveling. After a tough spell, this is, a real vote of confidence, long-term security.
Right. These aren't just random moves, are they? They feel very targeted.
Exactly. Strategic boosts for each club right off the bat.
So targeted moves happening quickly. But speaking of, big pieces and long-term vision, let's talk about maybe the biggest name out there, Lionel Messi. There's been a lot of rumors about his future, even though he hasn't been in Miami that long, relatively speaking.
Right.
What's the real situation there, and what does it say about Inter Miami's, bigger strategy?
Yeah, if we're talking long-term planning, the Messi situation at Inter Miami is absolutely fascinating. Despite all those rumors you mentioned, potential early exit, whatever, Inter Miami put out an official statement, an exclusive one.
Saying what?
Saying their clear intention is not just to continue with Messi, but to actually extend his contract beyond 2025.
Beyond 2025. His current deal runs out then.
Exactly. Okay. End of 2025. So the rumors weren't totally out of thin air, but the club is now pushing hard for this continuation.
Okay.
And that feeling, apparently, is shared by Messi's agents, his side of things, too.
So it's mutual.
Seems that way. And this isn't just about keeping the go for another year or so. It's way bigger.
Oh, so?
It's a statement about their global brand strategy. They're not building something temporary, a spectacle. They're aiming for a long-term dynasty.
Right. Attract more stars, bigger deals.
Exactly. Solidify their place globally, way beyond 2025. It's almost like a preemptive move against other leagues like the Saudi Pro League trying to lure him.
Interesting angle.
They're locking down their cornerstone for the next era. A clear message about their ambitions in MLS, which is obviously growing fast.
That's really insightful. So much more than just a contract extension, it's about cementing a brand, a whole vision.
Precise.
It really shows that kind of expansive thinking, looking years ahead, not just next season. That seems to be happening more and more at the top level. 2, Chelsea's swift acquisitions. Okay, moving from that kind of foundational long-term play to a club that's also been super active, but wow, in a completely different way.
Yeah.
Chelsea, they've been incredibly quick, decisive in getting new talent through the door. What's that rapid pace telling us?
Well, Chelsea are definitely not messing around. Their speed feels very deliberate, doesn't it?
It does.
Pedro, medals done in the U.S. He's officially a new Chelsea player, signed from Brighton.
And the fee?
Confirmed at $55 million plus another £5 million in potential add-ons.
Wow, okay. Big money.
Big money. And what's also notable, showing their efficiency, this deal happened pretty much concurrently with Jamie Bino-Gittins also joining Chelsea.
Both done.
Both deals absolutely done and dusted. It shows a very rapid, very aggressive approach this summer.
Decisive, for sure. But does moving that fast, spending that much, does that come with higher risks, like overpaying or maybe integration issues?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Or rather, the multi-million-pound question here.
Yeah.
Look, their speed, these high fees, it's aggressive. It's probably aimed at getting specific players for the new system quickly.
Avoiding bidding wars later on.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Beat the rush.
Yeah.
But it absolutely raises questions about FFP, given their recent spending.
True.
And crucially, how do you integrate multiple big signings that quickly? Team chemistry, cohesion. That's tough.
So high reward, high risk. Prioritizing immediate impact.
That's exactly how it looks. 3, Liverpool's defensive and offensive maneuvers.
Okay, let's shift focus now over to Liverpool. They seem busy too, but maybe a bit more mixed. Some talent heading out, but also actively pursuing players. Balancing things.
Indeed. First up, the outgoing side. Cade Gordon's departure to Bayer Leverkusen is confirmed. Medical, done.
Right. How did Liverpool do on that deal, financially?
Pretty well, actually. It's a guaranteed $30 million fee for Liverpool.
Okay.
Plus another £5 million possible in bonuses.
Yeah.
But here's the really interesting part, the forward-thinking bit.
A buyback clause.
Exactly. It's set at $60 million plus. But, and this is crucial, it's only valid from 2027 onwards.
2027. So they can't just snap him back next summer if he explodes.
Nope. Not an option for next summer. It gives him time to develop.
Is that Liverpool being smart long-term, or maybe a concession they had to make to get the $30 million now?
Probably a bit of both. But I lean towards shrewd long-term play.
Okay.
It lets Gordon get proper first-team football somewhere else, which maybe Liverpool couldn't guarantee right now. But they don't lose him completely. They get a good fee now, and they keep an option, albeit an expensive one, on a potentially much more developed player down the line.
De-risking talent development, almost.
You could say that, yeah.
Smart business for the future, then. But what about right now, incoming talent? The defense seems like a priority. What's the latest there?
Yeah, Liverpool are definitely looking for a defender. And Mark Guéhi from Crystal Palace, he remains a very serious option.
Still in the mix.
Very much so. Conversations are ongoing this week. More contact expected between Liverpool, Guéhi's camp, and Palace.
Okay. Liverpool clearly rate him.
They do. And the reports are that Guéhi wants guarantees on playing time, which is fair enough given his status.
Understandable. So what are Liverpool doing?
They're talking to his people, presenting their vision, their plans for him, making their case.
Right. And what about Palace's side?
Well, this is key. Guéhi isn't signing a new deal with Palace. His current one runs out in 2026.
Ah, so this summer is prime time for Palace to sell.
Exactly. Big opportunity for them to cash in rather than risk losing him for nothing later.
Which gives Liverpool maybe a bit of leverage on the fee.
Potentially, yes. It creates that classic negotiation dynamic. Player wants guarantees, selling club needs to sell. It's a strategic dance.
A real balancing act. Okay, and sticking with Liverpool, but moving upfield, the striker situation. Sounds like there's some uncertainty there, maybe a domino effect brewing.
That's a good way to put it. A definite domino. Liverpool are still actively working, discussing Hugo Ekitike.
Still keen on him.
Yeah, looking to potentially add him as a new striker. But this links directly to the Darwin Núñez situation.
Ah, right. What's happening there?
Conversations are ongoing with Napoli. Napoli are interested. They're also looking at Randall Kolomuani, apparently, but keeping active contacts for Núñez.
So if Núñez goes,
then the path for someone like Ekitike potentially opens up more clearly. So Ekitike is still firmly on Liverpool's list, but it's not like an immediate done deal situation.
needs patience.
Exactly. Needs patience to see how the Núñez part evolves. One move definitely influences the other. 4 fee. Manchester United's striker search and squad adjustments.
Okay, let's shift gears again. Manchester United, they're also clearly after a striker, but their approach seems maybe more cautious, more about specific prices and options.
Yeah, United's strategy seems quite defined by, let's say, pragmatism right now.
Okay.
Take Hugo Ekitike again. United reportedly are just not willing to pay that $100 million fee that's been floated.
No way.
Not happening at that price. For a deal to be possible, the price needs to drop a lot. They're looking at different ways to structure a deal, maybe.
Right, not getting drawn into a crazy bidding war.
Seems not.
Yeah.
They also seem pretty confident about signing Brian Bamo.
From Brentford.
Yeah, which again signals they won't spend crazy money just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
They're looking for a good opportunity, a solid player at a sensible price.
Interesting. So value is key.
Value and options. What's fascinating is the range they're considering. We heard they made an inquiry about Ollie Watkins just in the last few days.
Watkins. Okay, different profile. More experienced.
Exactly. Just understanding his situation, the conditions. So he's definitely one of the names they're looking at. It feels like they're weighing up, younger potential like Mbemo or maybe Ekitike if the price is right.
Versus a proven Premier League scorer like Watkins.
Precisely. And interestingly, they were apparently offered John Duran, the guy going to Fenerbahce, on an initial loan, just covering his salary.
And they turned it down.
Decided to focus on their other targets that fit their specific financial and strategic boxes better.
So a very methodical approach. Weighing experience, potential, and definitely keeping an eye on the price tag.
Seems that way.
Okay, and still with United. Speaking of players and adjustments, there's a high-profile return, isn't there?
Marcus Rashford.
Right. What's the deal there?
Well, he's officially back at Manchester United from Aston Villa. Villa didn't trigger the buy option.
Which was how much?
It was $40 million. Villa didn't take it. But that $40 million is still the price tag United have put on him for anyone wanting to buy him this summer.
So he's back, but potentially still for sale.
Seems very much the case. United are actively looking for solutions this summer. For Rashford, yes, but also for Jadon Sancho and Alejandro Garnacho.
Wow. Finding solutions for those three. That's a big task, especially with Rashford just back from a loan that didn't convert.
It really highlights the complex choices, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the big financial considerations driving United's moves. Managing existing assets while trying to bring new ones in. It's a tricky balance for squad depth and the wage bill, v Barcelona and the Nico Williams saga.
Right. Let's turn our attention now to one of the sagas that's really buzzing. Lots of listener interest in this one. Nico Williams and Barcelona.
Ah, yes. The Nico Williams situation.
Feels like there's so much back and forth in the media. What's the real story? What's the actual sticking point here?
Yeah, this is a really interesting one. It shows that delicate balance in massive transfers, especially, with Barcelona's unique financial situation.
The La Liga rules and all that.
Exactly. So the core issue, reportedly, is that Nico Williams is asking for guarantees on paper from Barcelona.
Guarantees about what?
About his registration.
Ah, okay. Explain that.
Basically, he wants formal proof that Barcelona actually have the financial wiggle room under La Liga's strict salary cap rules to register him to play, not just sign the contract.
Because they've had issues with that before, right? Signing players they couldn't immediately register.
Precisely. Big signings left in limbo sometimes until finances were sorted. So it's understandable from the player's side.
Okay, so that's the holdup.
That seems to be the main point of discussion right now. What's fascinating is that Barcelona's intention is still crystal clear. They want to activate the deal. They want to proceed with Nico Williams.
The agreement itself is done.
The agreement between him and Barca is apparently done and completed. There's a 6-year contract ready to go, worth $7.8 million net per season.
Net. That's key. After tax.
Very key for the player's take-home, yeah. Makes comparing deals tricky sometimes.
So player agreement solid. The hurdle is purely administrative, financial, tied to La Liga.
Exactly. The current hurdle isn't Nico himself wanting out or anything. It's clarifying the technical steps with La Liga, making sure they can pay the release clause and, crucially, get him registered.
And that's where the guarantees on paper come in, the trust element.
Absolutely. Those ongoing discussions with his camp about the registration guarantees, they're key. Understandably, his camp wants assurances. Barcelona maybe wants the player and his agents to just trust them, given the talks with La Liga are ongoing.
A bit of a standoff on trust versus paperwork.
Sort of feels like that. But the crucial point as of, say, Monday or Tuesday night was that Barcelona remained an active deal. They had not left the race.
So still very much trying to make it happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just perfectly shows that fine line, doesn't it, between trust, expectation, and formal financial guarantees in these huge deals, especially in a league like La Liga with such tight controls.
It really is a classic high-stakes negotiation. Player needs security, club wants flexibility and trust. It'll be fascinating to see how that plays out, especially given Barca's track record with registrations sometimes. Outro. Wow. What a whirlwind we've covered today. I mean, from Messi's long-term plans,
Foundational stuff.
to Chelsea just snapping up players aggressively, Liverpool's more nuanced moves,
Strategic, yeah.
Man United being methodical with their striker search, and then this really intriguing, tense Nico Williams saga with Barcelona.
So much going on.
We've only scratched the surface, really. But it's clear this is just a complex, super fast-moving world, isn't it? Every transfer has ripples.
Absolutely. And what's truly fascinating, I think, about this window isn't just the immediate impact, like who fits where in the team next season. It's how these moves genuinely set the stage for the tactical battles ahead, for the club's long-term financial strategies, even for their very identity. You know?
Good point.
And it raises a big question for all of us watching, doesn't it? In this era of like constant change, huge money, players moving all the time, how does that traditional idea of club loyalty or even just genuine player development, how does that actually endure?
Is it becoming a thing of the past?
That's the thought, isn't it? Something to ponder.
That is a powerful thought to leave with. Something to definitely think about as these stories keep unfolding and the season gets closer.
For sure.
So, we've taken you through a real whirlwind today. Deals, inquiries, those crucial contract talks. What stood out to you from this deep dive? What does it mean for your favorite club? Or maybe for the future of football as you see it? Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, we'd love to hear them.
That's all for this deep dive. We really hope you feel more informed, maybe a bit more excited, and definitely ready for whatever the transfer market throws at us next.
It won't be dull.
Never is. Until our next session, keep digging for those insights, and we'll see you soon for another deep